You're good? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to on this wet and dreary day. Nice to see everyone. We shall call this meeting to order. The roll has been taken by the clerk, so we'll go on to number 2 on your agendas. Are there any declarations of conflicts of interest for any of the items listed on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to number 3, presentations. We have no presentations or delegations today, so on to number 4, items for consideration. We do have 2 items for consideration on today's agenda. The first item, 4.1, site plan application for 963-970 Colburn Street, SPCO 125, 2025-281. And I will ask staff to come forward and provide an overview of this item. Please, Dora, over to you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just going to share my screen. Can everyone on Zoom see that? Just confirm. Yeah. Yep. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So hello everyone. My name is Dora Call. I'm an intermediate development planner here with the city. And I'll be speaking on 2 applications today. The first one being 968 to 970 Colburn Street. And they're in for a site plan application. So the subject property is located west of Garden Ave and north of Colburn Street. The subject lands, on the subject lands, there's currently an existing commercial building, which is a flooring business, and a vacant dwelling, which are both to be demolished for the proposed development. So the proposed development is a 6-story mixed-use building with 40 residential units and 4 ground floor commercial units. This is these are some renderings of the proposed development, just for some context. You can see some of the entrances here and a few of the sidewalks along the building. So on to accessibility considerations. The site features 3 barrier-free parking spaces. 2 of the spaces are located above ground, close to the commercial entrances of the site. And then 1 barrier-free space is located underground in the underground parking level. And they're highlighted in red on the slide there. This was done for distribution of the barrier-free spaces, since there's above grade parking and then underground parking. And then an access aisle from the barrier-free parking spaces above ground is provided with a curb cut leading to the 1.5 meter pedestrian sidewalk that wraps around the front of the building and the south side of the building. And that's where the commercial units, the entrances to the commercial units are located. So the fulsome comments that were provided by Jenny, the city's accessibility coordinator, are provided in the report. But on the slide, there's some key ones for reference that were given to the applicant as well. So all main doors to the buildings are to be accessible. Access aisle above grade cannot double as a general walkway. So if I go back, it doubles as a general walkway. So that will have to be changed. The sidewalks have to have a minimum unobstructed width of 1.6 meters instead of 1.5 meters. And this is the new OBC requirement. And then provide pedestrian access to all key areas of the site. So if we go back to the site, there is amenity space. I don't know if you over here, but there is no pedestrian access. So that will have to get changed. And then, actually, that's everything. So with that, I'll conclude the staff portion of the presentation and I'll open it up to any questions or comments from committee members.
Questions for Dora on this point? Yes, Mark.
What about bus stops in correlation to the building? Is it out front? Cause I know that's the number 9 Eagle Place bus goes out there. Believe so.
I'm not exactly sure about that. I don't think we received comments from transit on this application. but I can get back to you on that. So you're wondering about the specific bus stop in front of the,
Is it in front or do you have to walk down or? Cause that's pretty much the furthest east that the buses go in the city of Brantford.
yeah, that's a good question. I would have to get transits, I would have to look at where the bus stop is and get transit to weigh in if they were to add any other bus stops.
Any further questions? I do have two questions for you, Dora. Did you say 60 units? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, I believe it's 40.
40 units, a 6-story.
So there's 6 stories and there's 40 units and then 4 ground floor commercial units.
40 plus 4. Thank you. I just got the numbers mixed up. And the second question had to do with Mark's question about transit. I do live down in that area and I believe and I could be wrong, I believe the transit stops at either corner. This building would be in the middle of that commercial block. Is that not correct? From what I see on the drawings,
Like in the middle of the site, you're saying?
in the middle of that city block. Where the intersections. Am I not being clear? I'm sorry.
Stops at the corner, yeah,
Yeah,
before it turns on to Garden.
right. So I
Yeah.
believe that this proposed site is in the middle of that city block. So after Garden, but before,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
No, it's
Yes.
before Garden. It's west of Garden.
yes, depending on which way you're coming. Yes, right, west of Garden.
Yeah,
Mhm. But I'm not exactly sure about the bus route.
Right, okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. Yes,
Bus rates change with what's in demand.
right. They're quite flexible with those. So
Could literally call in and ask if they can move one closer to you.
yeah, perfect. Any further questions?
Through
Yes,
the chair, would you like this as a formal comment on this application and the recommendation to contact transit and have them look at the bus stops in correlation to the location of the building?
yes. I think that would be a good idea. Yes, yes, Mike.
is there, so obviously there's sidewalks along the street there,
Yes,
and is there a way that they can put, some sort of a tactile indicator to show where you can turn at the sidewalk to go towards the building?
Are you saying? So there, can I pull up the site plan again?
Yeah.
Let me just pull up the site plan.
Jenny Sawicki has her hand up. I don't know.
Oh.
You can't see her, but I can.
oh, okay.
So you're saying have a tactile warning indicator on the path that leads from the sidewalk to the building?
Yeah,
Okay. Would that
Maybe
be your
Jenny.
recommendation?
I can put that in if.
Perfect. Thank you. Jenny, you have a question?
I do, sorry. I just wanted to ensure that the recommendation about the information about the transit stop is worded in such a way that the application can still proceed as it will not affect the actual site plan. We can't move the site depending on where the bus stop is, so it is only for information. So I just want to make sure that that wording is clear, that we're not holding up the site.
Good point, Jenny. Thank you.
And I have an additional question, related to Mark, sorry. Mark, we typically only install tactile warning surfaces where the paths are going to enter or cross into trafficked areas or other hazards, as an identification of a hazard impending.
Oh, okay, no,
Um,
that's true, yeah.
I just wanted to be sure that that is okay, because I don't want any misinformation when people are traveling down that sidewalk.
Sure, yeah, yeah, that's fair enough.
Great point. Thank you, Jenny. Any further questions for Dora on this site plan?
I need to move.
When is it set to be completed?
I would defer that to the applicant. They're right now, they've submitted one full application and they received comments. They're working on revising the plans with for staff comments. And then they will have to resubmit, and then we would recirculate again, and then depending on how many comments they were able to satisfy, that would let us know how close they are to final site plan approval. And then after final site plan approval, they have to get building permits as well. So it could take some time.
So you're saying it's not going to be finished tomorrow? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no further questions. May I have a mover and a seconder, please, to place the motion on the floor? Yes, Madison and Mark, thank you. And
We've
we-
already done. questions.
Any further discussion on this point? No? So I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Show of hands, please. Anyone opposed to this? Seeing none, that is carried. Thank you so much. On to our next item, 4.2. Future site plan application for 84 Linden Road, which is that sorry,
Sorry. The mall.
which is PL or PI? PI, thank you. 1525, which is 2025-274. And once again, we'll call on Dora to explain this one for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So this application has come in for a pre-consultation and they will need a site plan application in the future. They've come ahead of the game to get some comments from the committee as per the recommendation from our accessibility coordinator. So this is the subject lands. So this is the site of the mall, Linden Park Mall, which has an area of approximately 30 hectares. But the applicant intends to sever about 1.7 acres of vacant land located on the eastern portion of the subject lands for the proposed development in front of you. So the proposed development is a 3-story climate-controlled self-storage facility. This development is a revision of the master plan previously approved for Linden Park Mall property in 2019. And through a phasing mechanism built into the master site plan agreement, the overall development continues to meet the overall intent of the original site plan, just slightly differs from what was already approved. So here is a rendering of the proposed development to provide a visual. So for accessibility considerations, the proposal includes a pedestrian walkway that connects the main entrance on the north side of the building with 3 other exits located on the east, south, and west sides of the building. And then the development accommodates 11 parking spaces, of which 9 are standard, and then 2 are barrier-free, type A and type B, and they're highlighted in red on the screen. And it also has an access aisle in between them. And then again, so fulsome comments from the accessibility coordinator provided in the report, but for key comments that were provided are all main doors have to be accessible. Recommend placing the access aisle so that the passenger side of the vehicle, when it gets up into stall A, so you just have to get moved around. Provide access to the sidewalk from the accessible parking, generally a curb cut with tactile warning surface in the access aisle. And those are all the key comments. So with that, I'll conclude the staff portion of the presentation.
Thank you, Dora. Could I have a mover and a seconder to place this motion on the floor for discussion? Yes, thank you, Madison. Second? Well, thank you, Mark. And we'll open the floor up for questions, please. Yes, Amra.
Through the chair, I know you mentioned in the previous site plan, the sidewalks were recommended to be 1.6 meters.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's indicated here, but I was wondering if it's also 1.6 meters, like where the accessible parking spots are, like below that.
Yeah, it's not indicated on the site plan, since it was a pre-consultation, it was just a concept plan. And they'll have to come in for a detailed site plan application. But you're right, the OBC requirement is 1.6 meters, so that would have to comply.
Further questions? Yes, Mark?
So am I understanding this correctly, that it's to put a storage facility,
Yes, correct.
Like, we're-
Self-storage.
self-storage?
Mhm.
Being blind, I don't understand the layout, but is that near Costco?
So, Costco is on. It's hard to describe, so. It's not near, it's on, Woodiette Drive. It would, the access would be off Woodiette. And, so it's Linden Road, and then Linden Road meets Woodiette. And then Costco's on, near Roy Boulevard,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
My concern is putting that building there like a sore thumb for for means of explanation. When it comes time to busy season like October, December, like the rest, it's a fairly busy area. Costco brings a lot of business. My question is that gonna take away from the parking for these two buildings when parking is sometimes difficult now when those two buildings get really full? Is that gonna cut into that, and is that really a good place for a storage place to be when it seems to be the busiest area right now going, where a lot of people are coming in? They have a mall, they have Costco, and people store their junk over there. It's just doesn't seem like it's a good place to. I don't know. That's just maybe my opinion. I'm blind. What do I know?
Good point, Mark, good point.
I will say this, so the applicant plans to sever that portion of the site from the rest of the mall. So it will be like a separate self-sustaining site. It will have to have its own parking, basically.
Right.
And it backs on to Woodiette, so it would have direct access to the street, so it wouldn't have to go through the mall, basically. Drivers wouldn't have to go through the mall or through where Costco is.
Right.
So that's another thing. And I've also heard from the applicant that the tenant, the self-storage tenant, they really don't see a lot of parking. People park there. It's usually in and out, so it's not such a high traffic area. That's what I would say.
But in severing it, it would be severing part of the new asphalt they put down for the Costco parking lot.
So the subject area where the proposal is proposed, it's currently vacant. It's currently,
Oh, okay.
yeah, there's no asphalt there. It's currently like a green space, or there's currently vegetation there at the back of the mall, basically.
Oh.
Clear as mud, yes?
Oh, it is clear, but
Okay. You just look a little puzzled.
I don't like putting that building there. Leave the grass alone.
I think it's more weeds than grass at this point. Any further questions or comments for Dora?
So the parking that was on the
screen that we saw, it's not actually having an entrance where it is, it will be over on Woodja.
Yeah, so I can, pull it up to show you guys. Sure. So this right here is the entrance, and then this is Woodiette Drive right here, or Woodiette Street. So the access would be up here, would be from here.
That is the access way into the mall in Montana.
The access for that is further down. I can pull up the master plan to show you. That would help, I think. Just bear with me. So here's the site. So it's Woodiette Drive, and then this is another entrance for use the other stores on site and then the mall. And then here is where Costco is.
So that little bit of land is completely different.
No, yeah, it's currently vacant. And then this area is vacant as well, like this area as well.
Well, that area just got developed into that, overflow area.
Oh, okay, okay, I stand to be corrected. The site is vacant.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. And just a reminder, all good questions for clarification, but could we keep our comments more geared towards the accessibility piece of what Dora is presenting to us?
I was
Just-
just wondering about. the flow.
Yeah, I was wondering about it as well, but I mean, we are here for accessibility mainly. Thank you. Nothing further on this piece, then I will call the question. All those in favor, please raise your hands. We have any objections to this piece? Yes, Mark is noted. Thank you, and that piece is carried. No further discussions on anything that Dora has presented. We shall move on to number 5, consent items. We have one consent item, which is the minutes from the Brantford Accessibility Advisory Committee of March 20th, 2025. Once again, could I have a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes? Yes, Mark, thank you, and Amra, thank you. All those in favor of, any questions on the minutes? Yes. No? Then I'll call the question. All those in favor of accepting the minutes as they were presented? And I will see none opposed. Thank you, that's carried. Number 6, resolutions. We have no resolutions. We have no notices of motion. And before we go on to number 8, any questions at all concerning anything we've heard today? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. We're good.